ザ・ FR GR86。
Hello YouTube, what's going on? Hope you guys are doing well today. As for me, I wish it was a little bit drier outside. But it is Friday, so I guess I can't complain too much. I won't be doing that much work today, so you know, I'm thankful. But just wish there was a little bit more sun out on this spring day, and wish it was a little bit more drier. But anyways, today's video, I wanted to talk to you guys about a before you buy guide. For those of you who have seen my reviews before, this is probably going to be no different, maybe slightly different. I may word things a little bit differently just due to the fact that I've had a lot more time with this car than my previous videos. So I'm doing this because obviously it's springtime and it's getting into those warmer months and people are looking to buy sports cars. And I'm here to make a case that this is probably the best sports car between $25,000 and $35,000. Hell, I would even say $50,000, to be honest with you, just because of what it offers and the potential that it has as well. And obviously with it being so cheap compared to like a BMW or Integra Type S or Type R, there's a lot more potential in this car, and you spend way less money doing, you know, what you want to do with this car. So today's guide will basically be, you know, I'll go over a little bit of features and obviously give you my opinions on what it's like to live with, as I am pushing about 33,000, well, almost 34,000, almost time for another oil change. So, you know, you can take my opinion pretty highly, I believe, just due to the fact that I really drive this thing every day. Looking to stop that soon, as far as, you know, getting this car transitioning into just being a track only car. So, but as for now, until hopefully Monday, I'll be driving this car just predominantly as my daily driver until my Miata gets out, you know, gets fixed and back up to par, because it had gotten hit a few weeks ago. So without further ado, here is my 2022 GR86. And I bought this for $32,000. And honestly, if they would have charged, I mean, they had some of these marked up, and I don't encourage you guys to pay any markup fees, especially for a new one of these, because there are plenty of used ones out there now, because people have gotten their taste of this car and some have gotten tired of them and traded them in. So the market out there is pretty robust for a BRZ or a GR86. And in my opinion, I still think it's a hell of a value, especially due to the newer generations of this car are not necessarily, nothing's really changed but the paint style and different additions, like the Trueno edition, for example. It's just going to come with a big brake package with the Brembos and you know, the decals on it with that saying Trueno, and obviously a custom shift knob that is going to say Trueno edition on it rather than just a GR, which I do have the GR shift knob as well. Other than that, the powertrain doesn't change. Nothing for the driving dynamics change at all. You just get better brakes. I think they're still on the PS4Ss. So again, you're not missing anything by going for the newer one, unless you just want that break-in period, that I got a brand new car feel. Sure, go for it, especially if it's not marked up. I would encourage you to go for it. But if you're really trying to get a really good value, I would go to the used market. There are a lot of these cars, the BRZs and the 86s with like 10,000 miles under, for like 27,000 on average, I saw. And that is a hell of a deal for a car like this. Prime example, I'll show you why I think that's a hell of a deal. Let me get out of here before these birds try to attack me. Anyways, the reason why I think it's a fair of a deal, yep, those birds really want me gone. just due to the fact of the silhouette. I believe that this car looks, you could get this car for $27,000, but it looks like a $50,000 car to me. I think, in my opinion, it has one of the best looks, one of the most iconic type of look. Obviously, the silhouette reminds a lot of people of the Porsche, which is, I think, what's the look that Toyota and Subaru was trying to go for, which they knocked it out of the park. Even with the previous gen, I kind of started, the looks of the previous gen started to grow on me. I do watch a lot of the previous gen videos because, for those of you who don't know, a quick little side note here, the previous gen parts will go on this car. So if you do find some previous gen Brembo brakes or a really nice exhaust on the previous gen car, and somebody's selling it on Facebook Marketplace or something like that, you can get that exhaust system and put it on here, and that'll also save you a lot of money. And if you trying to penny pinch, I mean, this is one of the best cars to do it with, because the prior generation version of this car, a lot of the stuff convert pretty much over, at least the exhaust and a couple of other bits. Obviously the inside's a lot different and a lot more updated, but you know, exhaust systems, brakes, those are really expensive parts, or they can be really expensive, and you could definitely save a lot of money getting you know, some secondhand parts that people aren't using, or maybe they're selling their car and they want to go stock and they're just looking to sell the really good titanium exhaust system, or AWE, you know, one of those really popular ones that cost like $1,000. But yeah, the other reason why I said that this car definitely looks the part, just due to the stance of it. Obviously, I'm still on stock height, and to be honest, I recommend stock height. If you're gonna daily drive your car, I would say keep it at stock height, just due to, you know, variables on the street. Obviously, you know, there could be tires, there can be like different things on the street that can really mess up the front end of your car, and you don't want to do that. So stock height is perfectly fine. Speed bumps are fine, going down driveways is fine. I think it's, again, if you're daily driving this thing, I would recommend stop height. Just put the 18s on. Right now I have the 17s, and my final setup with this car will have 18s on it, and I will be putting Fortunato coilovers on this car. So you know, because I think ultimately this will be just a track car. So, you know, that's just me. But again, if you're gonna daily drive it when you buy the car, I recommend stock height, just to be on the safe side, because you don't want to just start replacing front panels and side skirts and all that stuff just due to you wanting to be low. Now, if you've got some adjustable suspension and you're trying to go to a car show and you want to kind of look real sweet, then sure, do that. But I would, again, if you're day-to-day, not tracking, just A to B and having a little bit of fun on the back roads, this setup to me, I think, is fine, and I think it works great. And the other thing also, on why I think you guys should definitely try this car, is the handling potential of this car is fantastic. I think that it goes understated, in my opinion, especially in the car community. Handling is definitely one of the key important things in a sports car, and I'm still learning about that stuff every day. And in my opinion, this is probably one of the best handling cars, especially, again, for your price point. I'm trying to push that price point thing home, just due to the fact that, you know, interest rates are very high right now. You buying a brand new car, your interest rates, you're probably paying, you know, $600 or $700 for a car note. I think that's like the average right now, and that's not good. So what I'm trying to explain to you guys is that, you know, this car used is not a bad idea to go for. You know, spending $300-400 for this car a month, you'll definitely get your money's worth out of it. And again, you can do some tasteful mods. For me, I got the carbon fiber wing here. I do plan on putting a front lip and some side skirts on once I kind of complete the full track look of it. And obviously, like I said before, I'm gonna run 18s ultimately with some Brembo brakes, So basically I'll have the 2024 model. It's just going to be a 2022. So, and they haven't really changed anything with the oil pan or anything like that. So I'll throw that out there as well, because we all know if you plan to track this car, just take precaution, get some mitigations like an AccuSump and whatever baffle that you have researched. Make sure you do your research, especially if you are a seasoned track guy and you haven't been looking into the community, which most likely you probably have, to make sure that oil pressure doesn't drop too low. But other than that, I mean, this is a perfect car. I think it offers everything you need. And again, I'm going to go get a coffee right now, so I guess I'll take you guys on a little bit of a drive to close this out. Sorry for the, I don't know if this video is going to be that long or not, but I'm at like 10 minutes. But it starts up nice. I like the start sequence. It offers a really good gauge cluster for its price point. I don't think any other gauge cluster competes in this price bracket between $34,000 and below. A lot of people talk about the radio. In all honesty, it has its issues with getting out of CarPlay, but for the most part, you're not gonna care. I really don't think no one's gonna care about the radio that much. And again, they're pushing out updates. I think you can go to Toyota and get an update for this car to fix the radio. I haven't really went to Toyota to go do that yet, because it doesn't bother me that much. And sometimes I'm on the phone, and sometimes I listen to the music, but most of the time when I'm driving this car, it's just the exhaust. I'm just listening to the engine, and I'm, you know, driving spiritedly with the windows down, or just driving without any music. So this doesn't necessarily bother me that much. And some people also say that the interior looks dated. I disagree, because the reason why they did the interior like this is to make this a driver-focused car. And if you look at even the 718 Cayman and the newer Porsches, they still look like this. They haven't changed pretty much anything. Obviously, you know, you got the gear shift and the buttons here for your drive modes and everything, and traction control. It's pretty much the same thing. This is basically a Porsche Lite, if you want to call it that. Obviously, it doesn't have the engine or the power, but again, having this car and getting into this platform, especially if you're like an entry-level guy like myself, trying to get into some performance driving and some track days and whatnot, this is the perfect car to start from. And then once you kind of master the platform, which I plan to do, I would recommend, you know, getting a turbo or supercharger. There have been people who have done that already and who have had success, you know, putting a supercharger and a turbo on their car. If you really want that 300 to 400, if you want those numbers, those little shiny numbers that everybody goes for, then go for a supercharger or a turbocharger. I am going to supercharge this car eventually, probably sometime in the summer. But you know, I do say that I'm not doing it for myself, that I feel like it needs more power, because in all honesty, I don't think it needs more power. I think that I'm doing it mainly because this is my YouTube car, and it'll be nice to kind of see the maturation of the car. I kind of like builds like that, watching how the build started from scratch all the way up to where it will be in its final form. That would be pretty cool. But if you would ask me my honest opinion, if I wasn't doing YouTube with this car, I would not even supercharge it, because it's perfect. It has all the torque you need. It shifts fine. Like everything in this car, the communication in this car to me is spot on. I think the only car that competes with this, which I'm not going to mention it too much, is the Mazda Miata, the ND. And I've already, I mean, if you don't know how I feel about the ND, you can look at my Miata videos, and that's going to be my daily driver. That car drives like a dream, and it's not even that fast. And honestly, I don't even think that car needs more power, but I'm going to do it again just for YouTube, and not everybody's doing YouTube. So, you know, different strokes for different folks, but I believe that you know, this car has perfect power, and most people say, well, it needs a little bit more. I don't think so. I think you missed the point of what the 86 stands for. If you really started off with 350 horsepower or something like that, you kind of missed the boat, because it's meant to be, boy, this windshield is getting tagged, Jesus Christ. You kind of missed the boat on what the 86 is meant for, because like I mentioned before, it's meant to be slow. It's always been slow. Even the AE86 was slow by most standards, and it's meant for you to drive it spiritively and fast. And you competing with way faster cars is what gives the charm of the 86. And I think people lose sight of that for the most part when they believe that the car needs more power. I really don't think it does. It has enough torque, and I think it's right at a perfect power point to have just enough fun to where you wouldn't be yearning for more unless you just care about numbers more or less and more speed. But they have cars for that, you know what I mean? Like the 86 they never left the blueprint, they just updated it a bit. And I think the other one, the GT86, was like 180 horsepower or something like that, and this one's 220. I think it's a decent bump, and obviously they fixed the torque dip that the previous gen 86s had. But that's just my opinion. Obviously most people, just let me know in the comment section below. Most people think that it needs more power. From what I heard, I think it's perfect. And for those of you, like I said, who are in the market, this car is fantastic. It's perfect. You'll love it. They have great colors. And if you are in the market, please go for the color you really want. For me, I wanted this color just due to the fact it's the Trueno color. And I do plan on building it like somewhat a Trueno, like getting a carbon fiber hood and getting the stripes on the side and keeping a tofu sticker just for the anime. So I do plan on doing that. But they have great colors in this car. Please do your research. Do not impulse buy on the color you don't want, and I guarantee you will be satisfied with this car. And with that being said, fellas, that's all I got. Appreciate the love in the comment section and the likes. Appreciate the new subscribers, and that's all I got. Peace.